Hey, this is Mark with Merchant on the Mark, and today we're going to be covering again one of my favorite softwares, and that's Activecampaign. So you have a few different areas, your contacts, and if we look in there, that's where you get to see obviously all your contacts, your list. So that's very important. So you may have a list by your company or by campaign. Really, for any reason, you can actually create lists that are sub lists of existing ones that are more to the point exactly what those people are. People who opted into certain, PDF downloads or members of your membership site, whatever it might be. List is where you control all that. Contacts can be put into those lists. Also, you have your tags right here. So tags obviously are, you can tag them if they do certain things. So new customer or opted out or member of your membership site, whatever it might be. Most of these other items you're not really going to use that much. Let me see. The only other thing is when your list gets a little bit bigger. In lists, you can go in here and you can actually there's one to clean up your list and remove unsubscribes and people like that. So anyway, contacts is right here. If you want to add a new contact, you click right here. It's just like any other web form. If you want to edit a big group, I'll show you that in a second, but let's go through and I'll show you the other areas you're going to be dealing with. So campaigns is basically a one-off campaign. You can send now or you can send in the future whenever you want to schedule it. And so this is really when you have special offers or maybe a newsletter or something like that that you're sending out. It has information on some of the different things that you can do there. And they also have pre-built templates. So if you want to create a campaign, that's right here. Most of these other items right here, you're not going to use that much. If we go into automations, this is the power of Activecampaign because you're able to build out very detailed and focused automations to hopefully save you a lot of time through with your workers or your own time following up with people, and also delivering the information that people are looking at the time that they're most likely to use that information to buy. And so the goal here is to process people and clients in a way that allows them to get the information that they're looking for and that you're save time in the process. And so there's some very, very powerful things that you can do in here. And we'll go through that shortly. So that's automations. You'll use this a lot, but these are, again, think of these as your email series, your follow-up series, your funnels. This is where you direct people where you want them to go at the time that you want them to go. Okay, so that's automations. Right here is deals. If you're in a sales environment like selling life insurance or a product, and you're trying to follow a customer through their life cycle, this is where you would use that. I don't use the CRM as much. I know a lot of people do use this a lot, and this is certainly here for you. So that's a great value add for this platform versus all the other ones that are just basically email marketing platforms, like for example GetResponse, Aweber, Klaviyo, MailChimp, all those other ones. They kind of do one thing and do that fairly well. Activecampaign, if you're a serious business owner, if you have multiple businesses, if you need a little more control over how your messaging goes out to your potential clients and your clients, then I think Activecampaign is a great solution. So anyway, that's deals. Website right here is basically where you create forms for people to opt in. If you don't have something like a ClickFunnels or whatever, you can create forms here, and it will integrate directly into lists inside Activecampaign, and so they make it really easy. So this is where you'll do all of your forms. You can also create landing pages as well, to fit the design style of your brand. Right here is where all your reports will be after you get a number of clients in your system and you've run automations, campaigns, all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to see all that in here as well. Down here is integrations with apps. And again, the most valuable part of Activecampaign to me is the integrations with other apps. So I don't have to go out and hire a developer to build a custom integration for every single thing that I need done between Activecampaign and other apps. And so the integrations are already built in because Activecampaign is, one of the largest platforms, and they have the longest history, and they have a very open API or application programming interface, so that they make it easy for other companies to see how to get information in and out of Activecampaign. And so, if you go over here, set up your free trial down below. It's a 14-day free trial, and look for your application and the one that you use constantly, and see if that integration is there, because chances are it is. And so right here is your settings, and this is where you'll get information about your account. You can update your profile picture. Developer right here is where, when you're doing the integrations, typically it's going to ask in your other application for an API code, maybe a secret code, whatever it might be. This is where you'll find that. So it's in settings, and then integration. So right there, that's where you'll get all the the API information. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look here in contacts. So we need to get some contacts into the system. And so typically how you would do that is when someone places an order, you could build an integration on that side, like on Shopify, to also put them inside of Activecampaign, so you can do further outreach. So you don't have to have a Klaviyo, which is much more expensive typically, on your Shopify platform. You can use everything in here. And so you're going to have that integration where they are automatically brought in from either your opt-in forms or your websites, whatever it might be. Or alternatively, you can import, your contacts from another system. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to generate some test data. So this is a really cool site. It's called convertcsv.com, generate test data. And I put in the keywords of what I'm looking for. So first, last, company, city, state, zip, phone, email. And it generates test data. So I'm just going to do 20 records, generate test data. And then I'm going to download the result. And that will save me a CSV file. Okay. And then I'll go back into Activecampaign. I'm going to import. And then we want to go, and I'm actually going to copy and paste these. It'll be easier. So let's copy and paste. And next. So it will identify, what the column name is in your text, and then it will allow you to map those to Activecampaign fields. So company, I don't know if there's one. We could add a new field called, we'll call it company. And then we'll add, city is obviously one that will be in here. So we'll create that. And we'll do the same for the other one. So state. And if you're doing an import, you'll want to have these created ideally before you do that import. And so we'll just do zip. And then phone should be right there. Email address is in there. We're going to put it in this test list. We're going to add tags. Let's just say 02, 03, 23 import. We're going to say customer. We're going to say I value someone who spent a lot of money. Import as active contact. You can do that, or you can do these other options. Since they've already been, we're assuming they've already been, in another system that you have. We're going to just say import as active contact. All these are fine, and then we'll just go move me up, import now, and they'll come in. Okay, now our import has been completed. We're going to go into manage contacts, and we're going to see all of our records right here. Okay, next what we want to do is I want to show you how to batch edit. So if you want to just edit one of these, you just come in here and then add in any new tags, add them to any list, any automations. You can do all that, add notes. and then you would save it. Now, if we wanted to batch edit a group, then all we would do is we'd select whichever ones we want to. We go edit, and we can either add them to a list, unsubscribe from a list, add to an automation, and so forth. So you have a lot of flexibility right here with what you want to do with them. So we've imported our contacts. We've got them added to a list. I'm going to show you a list right here. And we can add a list right here, create new list called customers. And then we'll do add, and that's that. So if we want to come back in here and we want to add these people to that list as well, we can just click on those and we'll add them to customer list, and that's done. Okay, so that's basically the contacts area that you have. Next, we want to go into campaigns. Campaigns is where you're going to send one-off type campaign emails, and so this would be special sales you're doing, holiday deals, blog posts, driving them back to your website. So we'll do create campaign, and we'll call this. I'll typically date it, whatever. We'll call it a new blog post, whatever, or sale. And then you can do an automated one, autoresponder, all these different things. I usually just do standard. Next, you'll have to choose your list. So we'll choose this test list. You can also segment it based on different criteria, if they've opened or not opened a campaign, whatever it might be. We'll just do all. We'll do text only email would be when you want to look more personal. So it's literally text only. And so it looks like it's really coming from, your phone or your email or whatever it might be. We'll typically use the email designer. And in here you have basic templates, which are are formatted. So they have images where images should go, text where text should go, buttons where buttons should go. And they're formatted for different use cases. So you can look through here. This is, if I'm starting out and I don't have my brand set up already, I'll use one of these to kind of start, and then I'll edit that. And then every other one that I'll do, I'll come back in and choose past campaigns and choose that one as a starting point. So you have these basic templates, you have these design templates, which are a lot more graphical. I typically don't use these because they seem to hurt a little bit with deliverability. Then you have basic layouts that just have the format and layout of the email itself. So is it, single column with 3 sections? Is it 2 column right and left, 3 columns, so forth? So you can choose that. Typically, I'll use a basic template again to start, and then past campaign for after I've got my branding now. So we'll just do basic template. Let's just do limited time offer, and we'll choose that. You have your from name, from email, sale today, whatever it might be. Continue, and then you're using the designer at this point, and so everything can be edited. It's just drag and drop. If you want to add an image, you just pull it over. If you want to add a button, you'll just pull it over. And the editing takes place over here on the right side. So you'll have, your link, your button text, the color of your button, and so forth. Everything's over here. And so you can make all your changes, add all your links. It's very self-explanatory. And then as this is the campaign, you can choose to send this now, or you can schedule it to go out when your customers are most likely to, be open to your offer. So we'll just go next. And then ideally, again, when you do this the first time, you'll add all your branding, your logo, the sizing of your text. You'll add, your footer, your links, all those kind of things. So here we have our subject. We can change that one last time. Who it's from, what list is this going out to, your address. You'll have to add that in here. I typically do Google Analytics if it will allow me to. And reply tracking, I'll do that. And then you can schedule your campaign right here. So you can see all those different options. And then you'll turn this on if you want to schedule it. If you don't turn this on, then it will just send now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save that. I'm not going to send it. It will also show you a spam check. I didn't show you that to let you know if there's any words that would catch the spam filters, criterion, and deliver it to fewer people than it would normally. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is just automations. And again, automations is a way to fine tune how information is delivered to your customers or prospects based on things that they've done. So they have these things called recipes that are basically pre-built campaigns that have most everything already in them and set up correctly. All you have to do is go in and add your information, to those to, personalize them for you and your business. So this 7-day drip series is a good one to get started, and you can go through here and see all the different ones that they already have created. So I would recommend starting with one of these initially, to just get going. And then how we're going to do this one for this tutorial is I'm just going to create one from scratch, and you can see it prompts you with all these different automations that you can do, um, as templates. And I would always use one of those if you can find one that fits your needs. So I'm just going to start from scratch to show you how the basic process will work. The first thing that you want to do is select a trigger. So a trigger is what starts the automation. So this could be subscribing to a list, submitting a form, having a tag added, replying to an email, a lot of different things. Typically, you're going to use subscribes to a list because they're going to be opting in for some information, or they're going to be placing an order, or that kind of thing. So we'll do subscribes to a list. And when they subscribe to this test list, then that will be one start. You can also add multiple different triggers to start an automation. And so people can come into this automation from a lot of different places. But for this example, we're going to do send an email. So imagine that someone opted in for a PDF that you're giving away, and you want to give them that information. So they opt in, it comes into Activecampaign, and then we'll just start with a past campaign. And so right now, the way it stands is that we've created a trigger. When they come into the list, then they'll automatically receive this email. So now we need to choose the email that they'll receive. These are just test ones that I've done. So let's just use this one right here. We can add in a subject and then go through the process. And then, of course, we can have a chance to edit that before it actually goes out. So we're not going to edit this. We're just going to say that looks good. Next. And that will allow us to, confirm the information and then go on to our next step. So after they get this first email, we'll have a link in there to download the PDF, for example. And then maybe 2 days later, we want to send them a follow-up. So we'll just say save right here. And so that email is created. Now we would want to send them a second email, but we don't want to send it the same day. Typically, we want to wait a day or two. So we'll do conditions and workflow. And again, all these are things that you can use. If else is a very powerful one because it allows you to send an email only if someone has not opened the email or has not clicked on a link in the email. So that becomes very powerful as well. You can follow up with people who haven't opened your email at all and haven't had a chance to see what you're offering, and then not bother or bug people who have clicked on and just weren't interested. So that's very important. There's also different things you can do with contacts, CRM, Salesforce, CX apps. And so we're just going to do conditions and workflow, very simple, wait, and then we're going to do wait a specified period. We're going to do 1 day. And so now we have a 1 day delay, and we're going to create a second email. And actually, what we could do is we could just copy this one typically, copy and edit. And you can see this one is in here as your email too. So we'll just change this to be the name email to, about us, Save, and we'll make any edits that we have, and we'll go next and go through the process again. And so now we'll have 2 emails separated by a day. So on day 0, the day that they opt in, we'll be able to have that. Oh, it replaced that one. So what we'll do, let's just go ahead and add another email like this way. And we'll just call this email 3. Start with past campaign. And we'll do another one of these. And again, you'll go through and you'll create your emails in that process at the campaign summary, and we'll go through it. Now we're going to save that, and we want to do an if then. So this will allow us to only send an email to people who have not opened an email. So we want to get people's attention. So we'll go new condition, if else, and then you can see, so select condition. So we'll do actions, and then has not opened any email, and then we'll do save. And so it's going to create a split. So if they have not opened an email, if that's true, so they haven't opened an email, then you'll send an email here. And this is basically the same, send an email, send an SMS, whatever it might be. If they have not, it's hard to understand. So if they have not opened any email, if that's true, then you'll send them, hey, I noticed you didn't open the last email. Here's the information. So you might change up the subject, the actual body copy, whatever it might be. This one, you may do nothing, or you may send an email that continues the conversation from the previous email. So that's basically how that will work. And we'll just call this test 2, whatever it might be. And then all this stuff is in draft status until you click this active right here. And now it's active. And so basically we've come in and I've done a full tutorial on Activecampaign, everything that you're going to be using on a daily basis. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. I know as business owners, there's so many things that you can do, and knowing what you are going to be doing the most is the most important to me. And so I try to take you through the highlights, show you the things that you're going to be in on a daily basis, what things you're really not going to be in as much. Hopefully it's clear. If you have any questions on how something works inside, I'm not the Activecampaign guru of gurus, but I've been using it for quite a long time and have some very complicated automations built out. And so I've learned a lot, and I can share that with you if you have any questions or need help. So again, if you're interested in Activecampaign, I have a 14-day free trial below this video that you can check out. Go inside, do a few test campaigns, add a few integrations with your website or your opt-in forms, and just see how it works for you. So again, if you like these kind of videos, subscribe to our channel and like the video. And I appreciate you, and I'm always here to help. Thank you so much.